Good evening, San Bernardino, and thank you guys so much for being here tonight. It is February 18th, and we're going to do our agenda review because we have a meeting coming up tomorrow for the City Council. So I will give everybody a quick opportunity to figure out that we're live and to join. And I'm going to try to share so we can kind of see everything together. And hi, Donna. Thank you for joining. Okay. So lucky for everybody, it is not a super huge agenda this week. And so there is a good opportunity for us to get through this as quickly as possible. So hi, Scott. Thanks for joining. Okay. There we go. All right, let's jump in. Hi, Larea. Nice to see you. Okay. So here we go. So tomorrow we will start our closed session at 3 p.m. And this will be at Feldham Library, located at 555 West 6th Street. So if you can come down to Feldham Library, this is the place to be. So hi, Tim. Thanks for joining. So at 3 p.m., if you have anything that you want to discuss only regarding closed session, you can come and give a public comment. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is a conference with legal counsel on existing litigation for Maria Segura as successor in interest to Nicholas Segura. And if you would want to know more about this case, you can definitely look it up at the State District Court, and there's a court case number. It's in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And then we will be discussing a public employee appointment and performance evaluation process. So this will include criteria, timing, goal setting, and other preliminary matters. And this affects the city attorney, city clerk, and city manager. Then we will be going in to discuss a conference with a labor negotiator pursuant to our responsibilities. And then the agency designated representative of the city manager. So as anybody knows, that's a union member. We are right now getting ready to discuss the upcoming MOUs between our different organizations, the Teamsters, SBCMA, the police dispatchers unit, the general unit. There's a San Bernardino Police Officers Association, San Bernardino Police Management Unit. So there's a lot going on. And then there will also be a discussion on the public employee appointment of an interim city manager. And I know that a lot of you are reaching out and asking questions about what's going on with the city manager, what's happening. And what I want you to know is I understand that there is a lot of confusion as well as a lot of feelings circulating right now. What I can tell you is that I know there is different information about Rochelle Clayton going around. And what I can confirm with you today is that Rochelle still is the deputy city manager of the city of San Bernardino. So she is still a part of our city in that capacity. As far as anything else moving forward, this is like I said kind of last week, these are like little puzzle pieces. And what I promise you is that where I can ensure the stability of the city, that's what I'm doing. And it may not necessarily feel like that right now, but I promise you, once everything can really be discussed, it's going to really tie it in together. And one thing that I want to express wholeheartedly from myself is my utmost appreciation to Tanya Romero for stepping into this role for us in this last, I think today would be like this last week that she has been the acting city manager. While I can't give you everything, what I can tell you, community, is that I am very thankful for her dedication and continued dedication to the city of San Bernardino. And when called upon, always ready to make sure that the residents are the priority and that the business of the city carries forward. So hopefully we'll be able to get more information to you soon, but just know that there are continued conversations. There's a potential appointment of an interim city manager tomorrow night. And I am, as you guys are asking questions, as you are posing them to me, I will definitely address your questions and make sure that you have the information that you need, because it is very, very important. So after closed session, then we will go into open session, starting at 5 p.m. So closed session should take about 2 hours, give or take. I know that we have been going a little bit longer in our closed sessions, but understand that this is extremely important discussions that we're having. And so we're not leaving until things are finalized and the important issues are being handled. So my apologies always. I do try to see if we can't have someone come out and let you guys know what's going on that hasn't been supported yet. But I want you to know my sincere apologies for us taking longer, but it is necessary. So hi, Eloisa, thank you for joining. So after we call at 5 p.m., you will have the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Then if we do anything, it will be reported out in closed session for the report. Then there will be a presentation, the recognition of the Public Works Engineering Team for Engineers Week 2025 in the city of San Bernardino. You know, as always, our people are out there doing really great stuff. So thank you to the Public Works Engineering Team. And then a recognition of the sponsors for the 2025 San Bernardino Lunar New Year Cultural Celebration. If you got to go to that, then it was a wonderful event, and I'm really excited that we continue to be able to host something that brings the community together. So those will be the two presentations. Hi, Leticia, thank you for joining. Hi, Kathy. So there will be, after the presentations, a couple public hearings. So remember, you can give a comment in closed session. You can give a comment for open session, and you can also individually comment on any public hearings. So, but anything that you're going to talk about in a public hearing has to be directly associated with what the public hearing is about. So the first public hearing is the Development Code Amendment. And they're going to introduce the first reading by title only and a waiver of everything else to update the City of San Bernardino Development Code definitions for good neighborhood grocery stores and supermarkets to align with the state and industry standards, and finding such action statutorily exempt from the CEQA requirements. So if you have anything specifically to talk about in regards to the definition of neighborhood grocery stores / supermarkets and aligning with the state statutory requirements, then this is your item for the night, and you can come speak specifically to that. Number 4, notice of a funding availability for the rapid rehousing program under the Encampment Resolution Fund. So this is going to be a public hearing to obtain your comments on the proposed notice of funding availability for rapid rehousing under the Encampment Resolution Initiative. So let's look at that, because some of you were asking what it is. So we're going to go to page 84. So remember, you can come and comment on this one specifically. So we'll give you a little information. Okay. The notice of funding for the rapid rehousing program under the Encampment Resolution Fund initiative aims to address homelessness within a 5.2-mile prioritized encampment area along Waterman Avenue. So this is the Waterman corridor, by transitioning 60 individuals into permanent housing. This notice of funding invites qualified organizations to implement the program through 2 key components: a procured subcontractor funded at $600,000 to provide housing placement, case management, and landlord engagement, and rental assistance and landlord incentives, funded at $792,432 to cover the security deposit, 6 months of rents for 60 units, okay? And one-time financial incentive support for landlords. By combining housing placement services with direct financial support, the program promotes long-term stability and successful community reintegration. So this grant is specifically to help 60 people be taken off the streets, off of the Waterman corridor, and housed. And so this money came to be through Senate Bill SB 197, and it's funded through SB 101, and was created to address critical needs of unhoused individuals residing in encampments across California. So basically $400 million came around in a round 3 fund of in November of 2023. And then in February of 2023, if you guys remember, the city of San Bernardino declared homelessness a state of emergency. And then the city's outreach team counted approximately 200 people residing just alone in the 5.2-mile prioritized encampment area. So we're hoping between 2023 and now that we can help 60 individuals. In January 30th of 2024, the city submitted its application for round 3, and the application outlined the city's strategic approach to addressing homelessness. And then the city was notified of its award in April of 2024 for $4.5 million-ish. And then in December of 2024, the mayor and council unanimously voted to accept funds and approve the city's plan to launch its ERF3 program, which includes hiring staff, entering into direct agreements for interim housing, mobile showers, prevention, diversion services, as well as issuing of the notice of funding for rapid rehousing. So the purpose of this public hearing is to announce the availability of the funds and present a PowerPoint to provide an overview of the program, its scope of work, and eligibility criteria for the applicants. The procured subcontractors funded at $600,000. And then again, the rental assistance. So rental subsidies will cover 6 months of rent and security deposits for 54 one-bedroom units. And the cost that it'll cover is $1,611 per month, and then 6 two-bedroom units at $2,010 per month. And that's where you get the total of $693,000. Then additionally, landlord incentives will offer one-time financial assistance to property owners. So $1,600 per one bedroom and $2,000 for a two-bedroom unit. Now, what do you get to do? You get to come and talk about this. And so if this is something that you want to discuss, sign up to speak specifically to this for item number 4, and this will be a public hearing, okay? So this is, as we move forward with trying to address homelessness and everything that we're doing, this is one funding option for us to address the Waterman corridor specifically. Okay, then after that, there's another public hearing, and this is an annexation number 49 to Community Facilities District, maintenance of a Watt EV in the 3rd Ward. So if you guys have been watching what's happening off of E Street, there is a new EV facility being built. What this would do is it would be amending an ordinance, MC 1522, and levying a special tax to be collected during this fiscal year 24-25 to pay annual costs of the maintenance and servicing of lighting, streets, and trail maintenance, and a reserve fund for capital replacements and administrative expenses with respect to the city of San Bernardino Community Facilities District. So if you have anything you want to specifically discuss as to this Community Facilities District of the Watt EV, then please sign up for number 5. And then we have another one. So we have a public hearing for another annexation of a Community Facilities District. And this is for the Chipotle coming in Ward 1. And so it's basically the same thing, that there will be levying a special tax within the area proposed to be annexed. They hold a special landlord election and canvass the election, and then they'll read the title. So if you have anything specifically you want to talk about regarding Chipotle in Ward 1, please sign up for item number 6. After that, the city manager will provide the update. And then if you did not have anything to specifically add to any of the public hearings, then you will have your opportunity in the public comments listed for items on and not on the agenda. So that's pretty much where you can talk about whatever you like. And happy to hear whatever you have to add. Then we have a consent calendar, which basically the rest of the meeting is entire consent. So there's an item to accept a $5,000 one-time scholarship from Best Friends Animal Society. And this allows people to attend. It covers, the money will help cover revenues and expenditures for a conference. So very nice to keep anything off the general fund. Then there's a home investment partnership program. So owner-occupied rehabilitation program, a sub-recipient agreement with the Neighborhood Partner Housing Services. So basically there is a grant for $920,000, and it's an authorization of helping up to 20 people procure up to $40,000 per like home, so that they can do improvements as needed. So this would be us accepting that so that we could create an application for people to apply. Number 9 is an adoption of the ordinance for another annexation, and this is the Dutch Brothers coming in the 3rd ward, and again to levy the special taxes. Now, why this is not on a public hearing is because it was already a public hearing. So we're good there. Then number 10, review of administrative budget transfers from October 1 through December 31st. So this one is covering specifically like the grants team as they were being transferred and set up in one department, and then reconciling that. So that's the bulk of it for the 2 months. And then approval of the commercial and payroll disbursements and purchase card transactions. So every month, everybody's checking to see what's being paid. The investment portfolio's up. If you're a numbers and a nerdy person for finance, these are your bread and butter. So please make sure that you look over those. And then there's a resolution updating the bank and investment account signature authority. So anytime we go through a transition of who is at the helm of the city, the signature authority is re-upped at each of the banks that we have accounts at. So that's what that's about. And then award of a task order with Rick Engineering for raised median installation on Rialto Avenue and Metrolink rail crossing in the amount of $59,590. So if you are over in Ward 3 and 6, this is something that's going to help benefit, especially with the rail, whatever you guys have going on over there. So if you have anything, you can definitely talk about that. And then item 15 is a recommendation to increase the project budget for the police building management system. So this is just an addition to the project. They're looking for an additional $42,398 to address the HVAC system in the police department. And number 16 is award a design service agreement to Bell Design Group for Feldhelm Library Improvement Project, finally in the amount of $319,000. And this will be definitely great to kick off what is so desperately needed in advancing the library and in and of itself Feldhelm Library. So very cool that this is finally coming through. And then award a task order to Wildan Engineering for the traffic calming measures on 28th in the amount of $59,500 in Ward 7. This has been in the works for quite a while. And as you guys know, traffic is an issue. It just really is. We have a lot of things going on. And so the speeding in the neighborhoods, the cutting through small little residential streets as people try to bypass their way through traffic on E Street, Arrowhead, Sierra Way, it really does become a problem. And so this is cool that this is finally coming forward. I know the residents are very happy for that. And then 18 is adoption of an ordinance, so the annexation of Piedmont Park Estate. And if you guys remember, this came on last time. This was through a public hearing. So this is to levy the special taxes for ongoing maintenance. And then the acceptance of the fiscal year 2024 Edward Bryce Justice Assistance Grant. And so this is a repeat of grant for the police department in the amount of $181,999. I'm sorry, $181,099. So congratulations to the police department. And then amend a professional service agreements for legal services. So we will be making adjustments for different cases, different law firms. So that's what you see here. We can go through. So a second amendment to the professional service agreement with Graves and Kings for representation, the Mark Denti et al. In the city of San Bernardino, the San Bernardino Superior Court. If you want to know more, you can look up the case number, increasing not to exceed from 150,000 to 350,000. The Fourth Amendment to the Professional Service Agreement with Adkins, Adelson, Lloyd, Rua, and Romo. I'm sorry, Loya, Rood, and Romo for the provision of legal services in connection with the case entitled Brian Pellis et al. v. the City of San Bernardino, increasing not to exceed the amount from 450,000 to 950,000. The Fifth Amendment to the Professional Service Agreement with Lindbergh and Watkins for the representation in Gary Signs et al. City of San Bernardino Superior Court case, increasing to not exceed the amount from 250,000 to 241,859 dollars. And then a Second Amendment to the Professional Agreement with Lawrence Beach Allen Choi for the representation of Maria Segura as successor. And so remember, this is the closed session case. So increasing not to exceed the amount from $100,000 to $200,000. So as we can just tell, litigation is costly. And that is, as time goes on, as cases go on, the spending authority and all of the things that go with it, they get incrementally changed as needed. And that's why you see this come back. And then items to be considered for the future. Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa has asked if we will consider a presentation of community choice aggregation. And so if 4 council members agree, then at some point later on in, I don't know, a meeting or 2 meetings, this will come back to us as a presentation for community choice aggregation. And this is, just so you guys know, this is not a discussion item, so we don't get to ask questions. We just get to vote up or down on it. And then there will be mayor and city council updates, reports on conferences and meetings. And then we will adjourn to our next regularly scheduled meeting of March 5th, 2025. So, hey, look, that took less than a half an hour. We are moving and getting as much done as possible. So I hope that this was as helpful as it was for me. So I appreciate all of you taking the time. And for those that are asking, this is really more of like almost like a visual podcast. I know you guys can't see the agenda, but you're always welcome to download it or print out a copy and go through it. But I want you to be able to hear and listen as I go through, which might make it a little more convenient, like if you're in the car or if you're doing something. So if you do have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Definitely put anything that you have in the comments. Please come to the meeting. It's so vitally important for you to speak on closed session items, open session items, or any type of public hearing items that directly affect you, because it is at the end of the day your business and your meeting, and I am just here to humbly serve. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great evening, San Bernardino.